don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority, honestly.
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?
Peace, family. I am so happy to be here tonight. We have an exciting guest. This is the first time that Brother Malik Zulu Shabazz has been on our show, so this is going to be great. Before we get started, I just want to kind of go over a couple little things that we have cooking over in HAPI world. So if you have not yet, okay, listen, everybody right now should have gotten their copy of One Africa. It's 12 hours of the One Africa conference right there. We were able to live stream it, and then and now we made it available. You can download it, you can stream it, you can even rent it, and it's $20. Okay, everybody is up in, like, everybody was at this conference. So we have Kaba Kabane, Dr. Georgina Falou, Professor James Small, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, Sister Shahrazad Ali, Brother Riza Islam, Dr. Susan Tata, Miss Baina Bello, and it was emceed by Dr. Ken Harris, and he's the president of the National National Business League. And also we opened it up with Infudishi Juhutimis. We had Dr. Watkins, Jabari Ozazi, and Asar Imhotep. So this, if you didn't have a chance to see it live, trust me, it does not lose any type of power. One Africa, the Power and Unity Conference. I want to just say a quick shout out to everyone that's in the chat. What's up, Akan Divine, Mitchell? It's so nice to see you. P. Renee, Steve. Okay, from Missouri. All right, that's what's up. So make sure you guys have this copy, okay? $20. That's all I have to say. This is part, we did this conference. It was supposed to be done in Egypt, but then when people try to shut us down.com, okay, we had to change it to Detroit. So there's people out there, lots of people who don't want us just to talk about our own history. And so that's why it's important, that we know about our history, and you will get so inspired by watching the One Africa Conference. And I don't know if you can sit there and just look at it all at 12 hours in one time, but you can absolutely watch at least one or two of these scholars every day and sit down with your family, because it's something you don't want to miss. So I have other announcements, but our guest has limited time because he is a busy man. Okay. Before but I, a lot of times I just bring people like, hey, this is such and such, come on in. But no, I want to read to you this brother's autobiography. And this is the thing, this is only part of his biography. Okay. This is a young dude, and this is just part of all the stuff that he's been doing for us. So just give me 1 minute. I'm going to pull this up. Make sure that that you guys have, out of all the, I'm so sorry. Here it is. Okay. All right. From street struggles and federal court battles against police brutality in Ferguson, Missouri, to the burning streets of the Baltimore, Maryland rebellion after the police killing of Freddie Gray, to the grassroots organizing of the 1995 Million Man March, to the legendary battles over the 1998 Million Youth March in New York City, to organizing the Second Amendment Mass Armed March and Rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to standing firm on the courthouse steps in Brunswick, Georgia, in support of Ahmaud Arbery's family, and countless past and current mass marches and controversial street demonstrations nationwide, Malik Zulu Shabazz has served in the trenches of Black liberation and has displayed a tenaciousness in the leadership that has inspired and affected millions in America and worldwide. I introduce to you Brother Malik Zulu Shabazz. Peace, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Sister Felicia. It's my honor to be on with you, Queen, this evening.
Oh, that's so nice. Let me tell you, I was just once you said yes, and I started researching. I was like, man. Well, first of all, you went to my alma mater, so big ups. My son starts school at Howard this fall. Actually, in 2 weeks, I drop him off, so that's going to be interesting. But I am just I just have to just say, first of all, just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because without people like you doing work, not just talking about work, but actually doing work, there's no way that any of us can be okay. So I just thank you. I thank you for that.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in here saying, what's up to you? That's what's up. Oh, I like this one right here. Great General Malik. There it is. So, you know what? So first, just tell us, how did you just become a lawyer? Like, what made you want to be a lawyer? Just how did you get there?
Well, I am a product of my experiences at Howard University and an experience at a historically Black college and university. So when I come to Howard University in the mid-1980s, they're teaching a doctrine, they're teaching a creed that our purpose for being at the university is akin to W.E.B. Du Bois' talented 10th theory, was that those of us who are blessed to achieve education or access to higher education, that we should give our lives for the service of our people. Yeah. So that's what I think all of the biographical information that you read and what we'll go over today, it begins in my journey at Howard University. And I am a son of my father. In the Book of Khalid, I guess what we'll talk about today, in the Book of Khalid in the 7th chapter, it talks about my father, James Lewis. And James, my father was a law student, but he lost his life before he was able to finish law school. And also, I read in college the autobiography of Malcolm X, and I read how Malcolm X wanted to be a lawyer, but his teacher in an early grade told him he would never be a lawyer, and that discouraged him from going to school. And I read how Huey Newton was in law school, but he never quite made it. And so a number of these factors, also as a political science major, I started to realize that I could have an impact, on justice for my people and an impact on what I was learning at school by becoming an attorney. I was already an activist as an undergrad. I started as an activist in 1988, so I became a full-time Black nationalist activist. But I'm glad that I went on and persevered and went to law school and became a lawyer. And many of you know I was one of very, very, very active law school student. And all of these experiences helped give me some capability and some striking power today due to my early experiences coming from Howard University. And that's where I met Minister Louis Farrakhan, Khalid Muhammad. They had the greatest influences on me. I also met and had experiences with Dr. Leonard Jeffries and Dr. Tony Martin, Kwame Ture of Stokely Carmichael, Amiri Baraka, other greats like Steve Coakley and others. These are some of my mentors, and I carry on without the seeds that they planted in me yesterday. I'll do my best to carry on today.
Absolutely. Wow. Okay. So, okay, you brought up the book. Can you show everyone the book? Because how did this relationship begin with him? How did you get to the place where you can write a straight up book about him?
Well, I get to a place because I love him. It's a place of love. It's the same place of love that the foreword was written by his son, brother, a young genius, brother Farrah Gray, who has helped me with this, and same place with Sister Khalid, who is also the editor. She's known in here as Renee Brooks, but her name is Sister Khalid because of her great works for Brother Khalid. And we get to this place just out of love. I mean, it's a pure labor of love when I and we sat down to put together the 515 pages, 940 footnotes. We know what a great man Brother Khalid was, and what a fierce fighter he was, and how sincere he was. And it would be negligent not to put his history out. It would be negligent not to document it. And I'm sure Dr. Jeffries and the other scholars appreciated a good biography. Brother James Smalls is Professor Small is one of my mentors also. And so it's just love, and not only my love, it represents my respect for everyone that loves him. When I'm laboring and writing and toiling over this book, the Book of Khalid, on my mind is Dr. Leonard Jeffries. On my mind is those in the Nation of Islam that love him. On my mind is all of Brother Khalid's followers who love him. On my mind is let me give them the best that I know from him. And that's where it comes from, man. It was a lot of hard work. It took some years and it took some money. And indeed, it took a lot of effort to it, but I will never take it back. And really, we just getting started with the masses of the people obtaining the knowledge and the biography of Khalid Muhammad.
Yeah, so you know what? Thank you for saying it takes money to make stuff, because sometimes I think people just think, oh, we just do these things and just pop up. And I see that you guys are in here saying you can get this book. There's the website, guys, so you can get it while you're talking, while you're listening to Brother Shabazz. You can actually get it right now. Okay, it's very important that we support people who are doing the work. Okay, we know how we get down here at HAPI World. Make sure you are supporting the people that are doing the work. So what is one of the like, if you could pick like maybe just 3 things about Brother Muhammad that you just really like attributes you think that he left in you, what would those things be?
Number one is commitment to the ideology of Black nationalism and Black power. That was most impressive about Brother Khalid Muhammad was I, as an intellectual and a student in college, when he was teaching or lecturing, wherever he taught or wherever he lectured or wherever he was faced questioning, I could count on him to be well learned and to not deviate from the doctrine and the teaching that I knew him by. So therefore, he was like a rock. So that was one. His consistency and dedication to the doctrine and the ideology of Black nationalism, Black power, Pan-Africanism. That's one. Number 2 was his fearlessness. He's committed, and he's also fearless because he comes upon any number of circumstances where he should cower, he should show fear, he should retreat, he should retract, and he doesn't. So his fearlessness is most impressive to me. And overall, his complete dedication to the cause. So consistency, fearless, and dedication. And when you speak of dedication, here's a man that every waking moment of every moment that I knew him or saw him, public or private, he was seriously about the liberation of his people. He was seriously about living out the culture of liberation and the lifestyle of liberation. And to him, everything was liberation. You know, they considered me to be over the top, too much into it and too hard on it. And I am a hardline, hardcore organizer. But my dedication is in the shadow of Khalid Muhammad's dedication. See, I met a man, and I think that's why he may have liked me, because I showed as a younger man the same kind of dedication. But Brother Khalid Muhammad, to me, always exemplifies the example of what the revolution is all about. He's a true revolutionary, day in, day out, all day in, and at all times. And that's why I respect him highly, and still speak in his name and make sure that my mission is to make his commission known.
Yeah, I'm always amazed that as people who have Jetnas or mentors, we listen to what they're saying, we study them, we read their books, but not all of us makes a decision to live our lives and really like honor what they're doing and actually do the things that they're talking about doing. What made you actually just do the work?
I would have to say, I would have to say God. I would have to say it's on a divine level, because no one enters into the liberation struggle of Black people and gives 3 decades or more to it like I have, without and undergoing the obstacles, the stressors, the trials, the disappointments, the all of the rigors and the obstacles that can stop you and make you say, I'm not going to do this anymore. If you do it for over 3 decades like I have, and you've been through what I've been through, you understand that that it must be from a divine source, because I myself, as a human, as a man, I could not foresee how I succeeded. For example, when I was a law school student and I decided that I would defend Brother Khalid Muhammad, that I was going to defend his name, and that that I would continue to bring him and to support him and to host him on my campus when everybody else was shunning him. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. That put me in a valley of decision and in a valley of challenge. When it hit all in the newspapers and the press in my city in Washington, D.C., I'm a young law student. I'm on the top of the Washington Post, the New York Times, the local media, and they're attacking Minister Louis Farrakhan. They're attacking Khalid Muhammad, and they're attacking this young man, Malik Zulu Shabazz, for bringing and supporting these men on my campus. And what happens is that the powers that be, the Zionists, the white powers that be, white power comes against Howard University over me. And therefore, I become a man in the crosshairs. I become that young man that they say, now, if you bring Khalid Muhammad here in 3 weeks, you're not going to graduate. They're not going to let you ever become a lawyer. You must stop now and apologize, young man, for offending whites, offending Jews. You must apologize and turn around. So if you see a young man like Malik Zulu Shabazz say, there is no God but Allah, and I'm going forth anyway, even if my parents don't like it, my grandparents, my family don't like it, the administration don't like it. When you see me arrive on that stage on April 19th, 1994, to host Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Tony Martin, rest his soul, Brother Steve Coakley, rest his soul. And when you see that, it was 2,000 on the inside, 2,000 on the outside.
I was on the outside.
I'm sorry you didn't get in. I still say that was maybe one of the greatest nights of my lives.
Wow.
And at that moment, I was under the extreme pressure, but I was in another zone. And the zone I was in is that I believe in God and the message that he has brought through Minister Farrakhan and Khalid Muhammad, and I believe in Dr. Khalid. And I saw myself overcome. I saw Howard University ban me from using the facilities of Howard after that day. I even saw myself at another point arrested after I graduated, but yet arrested on my own campus for organizing. I saw opposition through big political opposition. I saw the Anti-Defamation League come after me. I saw Southern Poverty Law Center come after me. I've seen over the course of my career, police departments, governors, and sheriffs come after me. In the course of my career, I see what I call little enemies, but yet stressful enemies. I'm talking about Black folks, Black opposition over the last 30 years, Black on Black infighting, Black on Black sabotage, Black on Black hatred. I'm talking about inside the liberation movement. And I'm not just talking about Uncle Tom's opposing us. I'm talking about people who have the same uniform and the same red, black, and green as us. So going through all of that, all of these enemies, internal, big enemies, little enemies, middle-sized enemies, struggles, challenges over finance and money. You gonna stand for this struggle, or you gonna choose how you gonna eat or money? And I saw, my dear sister Felicia, I saw a part of the scripture fulfilled. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want." And it goes on to say, "He maketh me lie down in green pastures, and leadeth me beside the still waters." And so what happened is, ma'am, is I'm known as a radical, I'm known as a militant and a freedom fighter and the chairman of the new Black Panther Party, and I have a host of enemies, but I'm also blessed. I'm blessed with a successful law practice. I'm blessed with successful business. I'm blessed with the love of my people. I'm blessed to live in what they have, fine homes and all of that. And I do it without compromise. And I cannot tell you that it came from my hands alone. Must tell you that it had to be a higher power to get me where I am, because what I've explained to you, I'm not supposed to be where I'm at right now. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, man, let me tell you, I had to stop shaking my head because I was getting a headache, because I was just like, Because in the beginning, I don't know if when I was telling everyone to get this One Africa conference, because people were, they didn't want us to go. And unfortunately, the people look like us. Like on the outside, we saw, white Egyptians, but the people who did the real dirt on us look just like us. And it's really, and you think you're in this fighting together, but sometimes it's people that look just like you that are trying to tear you down.
That couldn't be more true.
Yeah. Let me tell you, you describing, being a young law student and having all of that, that's just fuel to your fire. I mean, like there's nothing else after that, in terms of them scaring you. Like if you can get through that, you pretty much can get through anything. Wow.
Well, and that's the way I feel. I'm sorry, I was trying to tune somebody into the broadcast. Is those big struggles for myself as a young law student, and my early struggles prepare me for the current struggles of today in the movement. And we can say that in our movement, our Pan-African movement, our Black nationalist movement, that unfortunately most of the that is I don't mind saying it on this platform, that much of the opposition today is inside of the movement, that is hampering the movement. They come from inside the movement. And so it is a shame that people in this movement that they all that some, not all, but some, they're just in competition with each other. They look at the microchip instead of the macrochip. And so we're all expressing these higher ideals of complete liberation and complete unity and all of these higher ideals that purportedly could bring all 2 billion Africans together. But underneath it, there's a lot of fighting, catclawing, backbiting, undermining.
Yes.
You're going to have a conference. your conference ain't gonna be bigger than my conference, and
You know what?
and this one should have spoken, that one should have spoken, and you see, I've seen it all before, you know, and you know, although I disappointed at some of that, I'm built to take it and keep striving, because I've been dealing with it for 30 years, and my love for my people and the struggle overrides the crabs in the barrel.
Yeah, those crabs in the barrel. And, you know, and this is the thing, I was talking to we're going to have Dr. Oba T. Shaka on in a couple of weeks. And that's one of the things he was talking about, with just all the freedom movements that were popping up, was that right there. It's like the people on the inside, you know, and I'm sure we can, you know, tie that back to you know, to being, you know, to the time when we were enslaved. But I tell you, like, something has to drastically happen so that we could just move on, because these people cannot stop what we're trying to do, you know. And I like it. You just took it to God. That's what's up. You just took it to God. So now, oh God, I wasn't expecting all of that. So thank you. So, all right. So now let's talk about the Million Youth March. Like, what happened with that? You know, like, first let's tell everybody, you know, how you planned it, and then all the events that happened afterwards.
And I'm so glad that you've asked this question. The Million Youth March, which took place Saturday, September 5th, 1998, in Harlem, New York, remains one of the most strongest and controversial events in New York history. And it was convened by my mentor, Brother Khalid Muhammad. And Dr. Jeffries was with us. He knows it very well. This was an all-out showdown between a right-wing and, I say, racist mayor, Rudy Giuliani, against a black nationalist Muslim leader in his prime, with his young proteges and his young followers and his black nationalist allies. But that man was Khalid Muhammad. I mean, this was Rudy Giuliani versus Khalid Muhammad, and it couldn't have been a better fight, you know, and history will records it as such in my book. Giuliani was hard-nosed. Giuliani thought he was the toughest man in New York, and he was used to, as a Republican mayor, being very tough on everything, and standing up to blacks and standing up to calls of racism. And he had most black leaders in New York kowtowed. But when Khalid Muhammad came on the scene, and me as his spokesman and attorney, he met his match. And therefore, you know, it's just detailed in the Book of Khalid how much the city of New York, is right in here, just how much the city of New York fought against letting Brother Khalid convene the Million Youth March in Harlem in 1998, until finally we went to court. We had to go to court because the city said, we're not giving you the permit. We're not going to let you put up a stage. We're not going to let you get your message out. We're not going to do any of that. And then we had to go to federal court. And so I want to thank here Attorney Roger Wareham. I want to thank Michael Tarif Warren. And I want to thank myself also, because as a team throughout that summer, all the way through the litigation in court and the Court of Appeals, we whooped the city of New York. We whooped the city of New York. And if you can believe that a Jewish judge named Kaplan was the one that granted the so-called anti-Semite Khalid Muhammad his permit to gather on September the 5th, 1998, then you will know what type of victory that Brother Khalid obtained. You would certainly know that, what kind of strong victory he obtained over the whole city of New York and Giuliani. Yeah. And you'll also know the importance of the black lawyer. because it was black lawyers that fought New York and overcame New York and allowed us to gather on that day. It was black lawyers that defeated Michael Hess and New York Corporation Council in both the years, 1998 and 1999, paving the way. You know, now that's before we go further, you know, there's even some that are crazy enough that it may be listening now, or that in this movement that they will criticize me. They will criticize me for being a lawyer. If they don't have nothing else, they will say, well, he's a lawyer, and we can't trust no lawyers. And so I'll be trying to figure out. I'll be trying to say, now, fool, when you, that's what I think I say, now, fool, when you getting ready to go into court and you getting either arrested or contested on any kind of legal matter, who do you want for your lawyer? The white man? And who would you want for your lawyer other than a strong black man? Would you want a weak black man, or you just want no black man? And so it's that, I mean, the victories in New York to me, and on behalf of Khalid Muhammad, show me, let me know early on that this becoming an attorney is of absolute necessity in the movement. I mean, we have, and so that was one point. And moving further into it, when Brother Khalid won his victory over Giuliani, I mean, you would have just been so proud of how just strong he stood in New York, and how he had Giuliani on the run. They said they never saw Rudy Giuliani whimper and run like they did when Khalid Muhammad was cooking on his backside. I mean, he was crying like a baby in the news. He said, I haven't heard this kind of rhetoric since the 60s. He thought he was strong with his rhetoric till he met Khalid Muhammad. Yeah. Giuliani is a sneaky devil now. He's not a devil that's going to lay down on words. So on September 5th, 1998, what he did was he cheated. And on the streets of Harlem, he lined up 5,000 New York City police officers in the streets to surround and corral and to imprison the Million Youth March. And he also cut the subways that would get the brothers and sisters to the Million Youth March. And he set up snipers and helicopters and armed barges and armed vehicles available, armed vehicles everywhere. I mean, armored personnel vehicles everywhere. And he set the stage for a big showdown on that day. And it ended up actually being just that, a big showdown. It was a strong march. It was powerful. There was police everywhere. There were people everywhere. And at the end of the day, at 4:01, after Brother Khalid gave a very strong speech, at 4:01, this man Giuliani didn't give us time to fold up the chairs. At 4:01, he sent his police force to attack the stage of the Million Youth March, and they did attack. And our defense forces fought back, and it was a big fight. They eventually captured our stage, but not before the New York police lost 17 men to the hospital. I think we only lost 3 men. They lost 17 men to the hospital. Damn. Matter of fact, the following year, one of them tried to sue us unsuccessfully. He came to court. He was all busted up in a wheelchair.
Damn, still?
He was busted up. I don't know whether he was real or faking, but I said if he was real, we some bad black men.
Exactly.
Because I'm just saying, so, all of these are battles, and we had to take Brother Khalid out in disguise, get him out of New York in disguise, because Howard Safer, the New York police chief, he said that he was going to arrest Khalid for inciting a riot. And so, I had some really raw revolutionary experiences with Dr. Khalid Muhammad. The Jasper, Texas efforts, all of the things going on with the Nation of Islam, his building the new Black Panther Party. Yeah. All of this was just early super strong training that I got with the sword of Allah, Brother Khalid Muhammad.
Wow. Yeah, that is some training. Oh my. Yeah, I just can't, when you were saying how Mayor Giuliani at the time was crying and this and that, I was just thinking, I don't know if you heard that he got somebody just went off and just smacked him at the grocery store a month ago. Did you hear about that?
And I'm just hearing about it. And did they get him good? I just want to know, did they get him good?
They got him good at the grocery store. They spit at him and just started hitting him. So, yep. So now, all right, because I know you don't have a lot of time. You're gonna have to come back, okay, Brother Shabazz. You have to come back, okay?
Oh, I will come back. I absolutely will come back.
Yes.
There's no question about it.
Yes. So now we have to, because you have a great legal mind, and we have to. I want you to kind of just talk about some stuff that we're hearing right now in the news. But before we do that, can you just tell me about your organization? Your practice, and how people can get like if they need you, how can they get in touch with you, and this and that, before we talk about current events. Okay,
my organization is Black Lawyers. I have two organizations. My legal, let me talk about my legal practice. My legal practice focuses on civil rights first. It's civil rights and human rights, and as an individual practitioner, personal injury and other matters of appeals. Okay, so when it comes to civil rights, I do police cases. I do false arrests. I do excessive force. I do 1983 actions. I have successfully handled and will continue to handle wrongful death cases. I've had jail death cases. So throughout the country, I mean, whether it's the Prince George's County Police Department or Oklahoma or Florida or Washington, D.C., I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to hold the police accountable for their acts that they commit. I'm experienced at it. I don't always get the easy stuff, but I don't mind. I mean, the cases to me that I like being won are to be involved in are the cases that you have to fight for, the uphill cases. And so I'm a litigator. A litigator means that if I get in it and it's not an easy settlement, I'm ready to fight and to litigate it, to take it all the way to trial. Okay, if I take the case. Okay, so that's what Black Lawyers for Justice is all about. Okay. We're engaged in things right now. I represent some of my bigger cases I represent the family of Emmett Till. I represent at least part of the family, some of the family of Emmett Till, Miss Priscilla Sterling, and the Emmett Till Justice for Families Foundation. So I do work on behalf of the Emmett Till family, and I'm trying to get Carolyn Bryant Donham arrested and held accountable for her involvement in the murder of Emmett Till. That's very hot right now. That is, that's going to be continuing throughout the fall. Justice for Emmett Till. There's a movie coming out. The warrant was just found for Carolyn Bryant Donham, and I am that Black man who they saw nationwide searching for her, door to door, and putting pressure on her. I am that because I believe that we have to be more aggressive in the fight for justice. And so I do other things in the legal world, like Black Lawyers for Justice. For example, this racist, violent sheriff in Mississippi.
Oh, wait, you can go over all my current events.
Okay, all right, well, all right, we'll get back to that. That's part of what we do. Mm-hmm. And of course, now, because of the passing of my brother, Brother Hashim Nzinga, who was the chairman of the new Black Panther Party, and I succeeded. Well, actually, Khalid Muhammad passed me the torch to the new Black Panther Party. He just actually, by some kind of divine ordinance, put it in my lap as he made his transition. So, I'm trying to get my legal career going and trying to get going. And Brother Khalid said, by the way, the movement is yours too. That's another whole story. Okay, but I accept that. And then I passed the torch to Hashim and Zinga in 2013 so I could exclusively focus in the legal fight. Brother Hashim unfortunately passed from amongst us, and he died in 2020. So I'm back now as the chairman of the Panther Party also. And so the new Black Panther Party, I would say, is doing well. We're doing well, and the Panther Party is in at least 50 cities around America, and they keep up the Black nationalist struggle. And they're doing well, and particularly in such areas as armed defense training, community service, and just keeping up the struggle for Black nationalism. I love the new Black Panther Party. And over the years, I do want to say working with the new Black Panther Party, I found it to be a spiritual mission, a mission that allows me, I believe, to even save souls. I've worked with a lot of brothers and sisters that would have gone other ways, some would have gone into jail or prison, but they have become revolutionaries and freedom fighters and as my mentees. And so I'm happy to chair the new Black Panther Party. We're on the front lines too. And again, it gives me double power because as an attorney, sometimes I need to roll and I need to put pressure on certain enemies. And as an attorney, to be able to have as the Panther Party and the role with the new Black Panther Party gives us double pressure and double punches in the fight.
Yeah. When did the new Black Panther Party start? What year was that?
That was in 1989. New Black Panther Party started in Dallas, Texas in 1989. And Aaron Michaels, under Brother Aaron Michaels. And it was a small organization until Brother Khalid became the chairman in 1998. When he became the chairman national chairman in 1998, he spread it nationwide, and that's how he recruited me and many others. And I guess the rest is history, because when you look at the spawning of the Black nationalist movement, if you look all around now on the internet, if you see all these brothers wearing boots and fatigues and guns or just carrying out and looking like a soldier, the military aspect of this movement, well, that is rooted in the new Black Panther Party. All of that is rooted in the new Black Panther Party, back through my chairmanship, back to the national efforts of Brother Khalid Muhammad, who took the Panther Party nationally. And this generation here, this self-defense movement and this current generation, I firmly believe, owe a lot of debt to Brother Khalid Muhammad and his bold initiatives before he passed from amongst us.
You know what? Can you talk about the importance of self-defense?
Yes, I can. Well, I think we all see it. I mean, self-defense on different levels: personal self-defense, community self-defense, national self-defense. There's obviously a need for all of it. Buffalo Massacre, right in New York. Our elders and just gunned down by a white supremacist racist, and an AR-15 just runs in and guns everybody down. There's nobody there on the scene that can effectively counter him and gun him down before he guns us down. That's an issue. Massacres are up at an all-time high, and so we don't take the position that everybody should turn in their guns. I mean, it's not that kind of time for us as Black people. We believe that training is essential. So these are areas that I'm evolving in and our movement is evolving in. So you got national self-defense, you got community self-defense, you got personal self-defense. All of it is important to Black people. So we have to be clear here. Our position and our mandate in 2022 is arm yourself or harm yourself. Arm yourself or harm yourself. Black people must arm themselves with the capabilities of self-defense or do harm to themselves. Also, they must be trained. They must be trained in weapons so that they are not either symbolic or can be used to negligently to harm or injure somebody. You must know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so throughout this year and other years and throughout all of this country here, we have been setting up, we have been participating in training from some of the great pioneers. I'm talking about like the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. He come up out of the new Black Panther Party. He's a great general and a leader. His name is General Babu Omawale. He's erected a fine self-defense organization that has changed the meaning of training for self-defense in America.
And where is he located?
He's in Dallas. He's in Dallas, Texas. His name is General Babu Omawale, and he's the founder of the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, which has led and spearheaded a whole revolution in training and preparation with arms from his base in Dallas, Texas. So he has inspired the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club with their fine and distinguished leader, Brother Nick Bezel. He has inspired other great groups such as Anubis, led by Brother Amun Imhotep, and just a whole host of self-defense groups. And now everybody is training. I've put together several strong trainings. And now I'm blessed in the new Black Panther Party to have, honestly, some of the best trainers in America who are over the weapons training and defenses of the new Black Panther Party. I'm talking about Major Black. I'm talking about Kwasi Asante and other brothers who we're meeting, and Nguvu and others. These are competition shooters that go to competition with all races around the country, and they finish first, second, no less than third. So what I want to say is that the whole movement for self-defense is gaining great momentum. I myself have become much better trained and proficient in firearms.
I saw you.
I did, yeah. And we want to encourage our people, not only armed self-defense, physical self-defense, being able to fight, being in shape. And overall, we have to say that self-defense is one of the 3 parts of Black nationalism. We say to define, develop, and defend what's in the interests of Black people. To define, meaning education, to tell the truth, to know, to have the knowledge of what is going on here. To define, to develop programs, organizations, to develop our movement. Defend in the strict sense. Defend means we must have self-defense and security at a minimum, and at a maximum we have to be able to strike back when those who kill us need to be struck back against.
Oh, yes. I'm from I had to start as a young person. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. So we are Carrion State, my whole entire family. That was something that we just did not, everyone had to learn. Everyone had to learn how to take care of themselves. And yeah, I'm a strong proponent in what you're saying. This is great. Yeah, this is great. And because you're starting the Black Rifles Association, or no, you're on the board for the Black Rifles Association.
That's a very good subject. I think we've come to the point right now, man, where we have to have a Black National Rifle Association. White America has the National Rifle Association, but it is not tailored in any way to meet the specific needs of Black people. And so after much meditation and I would say coordination with the best of the defense and certified trainers in America, that I want to tell those that soon coming in the month of September will be the emergence of the Black National Rifle Association. And it will be, and we're getting calls by the hundreds from right now across the country. And the Black National Rifle Association agenda is being formulated by a board that I'm helping to assemble. I use my commitment to self-defense, but my organizing capacity to bring the best educators and experts and skilled persons to the table, to the Black National Rifle Association. And what they're going to be doing is helping the multitudes of our people learn self-defense, become trained and educated in self-defense, to have protection and the rights of a movement that has of a gun or rifle organization that has lawyers in it, lawyers to protect them, lawyers to advise them, lawyers to guide us through expungements and them cheating us out of being able to get firearms, dry fire classes for the masses. I never understood just how important just learning how to dry fire, pick up and hold your weapon and draw it from the holster over and over again, how important that is. These are the things that the Black National Rifle Association is going to offer. Trainings all over the country, online and in person.
Nice.
Education, advice from people you can trust. Most of our people are not going to go up into no National Rifle Association with boys from Oklahoma, Texas, and Tennessee and feel free to operate, and they're not going to feel free with us. So what I'm just going to say right now is very humbly, what we're doing is going about is getting the best trainers and educators in the firearms profession in America, and the Black National Rifle Association is going to come about. If it was my vision and my dream, the board of directors of it would be some of those men I just named, all of those top trainers that I named, and then some. But this wouldn't be like another organization or a gun club. This would be different. This would be open to private citizens, and whether you're in an organization or not, every private citizen that desires to practice and learn self-defense could be a member of the Black National Rifle Association. So theoretically, I would see it at least being 1 million strong, at minimum, 1 million strong, and we need it right now. We need
Absolutely.
it. I think that I could play a role, a humble role, but a strong role.
A strong role. I think you can play a strong role, Brother Shabazz. All right, okay, we're winding down with your time. So let's just get to it in terms of all the stuff that you're involved with. Now, you mentioned Emmett Till, and I know that there is an event that is happening, I think tomorrow.
Okay, Thursday. Okay, yeah, a couple things here.
Is this the one?
Thursday, right? On Thursday, July 28th, at the LaFleur County District Attorney Office, at the courthouse in Greenwood, Mississippi, Miss Priscilla Sterling, who I spoke about earlier, the cousin of Emmett Till, little cousin, and a family representative who I represent. She's the head of the Emmett Till Justice for Families Foundation, and she will be the keynote speaker at the courthouse on Thursday. And her keynote, and she will be joined by the Black Liberation Movement, Brother Patrick Lumumba, Kamal Kareem. She will be joined by the Nation of Islam, Brother Kareem Muhammad, and of course the new Black Panther Party, Chairman Lorenzo Sims, and the other leaders in Mississippi. They will all be there with her, and the NAACP and others. What are they going to be doing? They're going to be demanding that the district attorney, the state attorney there, Dwayne Richardson, open that grand jury. Serve that warrant. Number one, serve the warrant, Dwayne Richardson. You have the warrant.
Serve the warrant.
The warrant has just been found. She's liable in the kidnapping of Emmett Till. What are you waiting on, Dwayne Richardson? Serve the warrant. So it's a serve the warrant rally. There will be the introduction of the petition of the residents of LaFleur County, of which he's elected by, where all of the majority of the duly registered voters are going to sign the petition and tell Dwayne Richardson, who's facing election, this is who we want you to prosecute. So that is coming at his doorstep. And I must also say that on tomorrow, that it is reported that after this rally at the courthouse, that Carol and Brian Dunham may in fact be living or in hiding in Mississippi, in nearby Greenville, that we have reports. And so tomorrow there's going to be another search. There's a search that's going to go on for her in Greenville, Mississippi, to see if she's there, because the brothers and sisters are saying, from what I'm hearing, they're not going to tolerate the accused kidnapper of Emmett Till living in no Greenville, Mississippi. So they're going to be on the look for her in Greenville. It's going to be a heck of a mission on Thursday. In Raleigh, North Carolina, the great civil rights leader, John Barnett, is going to be at the state legislature because she has one of her last known addresses was in Raleigh, and there's rumors that she may be in a nursing home in Raleigh. John Barnett is going to be in front of the state legislature and going inside to the Black Caucus with a proposed resolution that condemns Carolyn Bryant Dunham, condemns her for her involvement in Emmett Till's murder, and censures her and declares her an undesirable in the state. Meaning he's pressing the case and to have her declared an undesirable in the state. There's a similar effort about to go on in Mississippi to censure her and declare her an undesirable in the state. So if you add these efforts that will be pursued in the legislature, that will be pursued in the streets, that will be pursued against Dwayne Richardson, so he should, and the sheriff should go arrest her right now. So if you add all of this up, and they're going on the look for her in Raleigh on Thursday also, it's going to be a hot, heavy week for Carolyn Bryant. It's going to be a heavy week. And then I went on the Revolt TV the other day, and they had two young people they put up against me. And these two young brothers and sisters were supposed to be activists, and they got on this show with me acting like they was feeling sorry for 87-year-old Carolyn Bryant, who done had Emmett Till killed.
Oh my
God. And they act like they was talking about, but she I don't see no purpose in it, and she looked like she might be old.
They wasn't her mama. They wasn't her mama.
And I had to be strong. I had to be strong on them, like Deborah Watts. Like the other Emmett Till family representative, Deborah Watts, who I love, the Emmett Till Foundation in Minneapolis. And her position is she don't hate Carolyn Bryant, but she wants her prosecuted and arrested, and she wants justice.
Absolutely.
And I'm behind the family on that point. They didn't cut Bill Cosby a break at 83 years old. They was going to let Bill Cosby rot and die in prison with no remorse for some evidence that's scant and weak in compared to the mountain of evidence, including the warrant on Carolyn Bryant Dunham. I say to you, like Brother Khalid Muhammad, if she's in a wheelchair, grab her and bring her to the damn courthouse. If she got an IV in her arm and she's on life support and it's the last days of her life, drag her into the damn courtroom and do justice, because Emmett Till never saw 87, 77, 67, 57, 47, 37, and how many white criminals and Nazis got away with killing our people and died in old age. And even old state of Israel will show you, they will go and grab a so-called Nazi down in Argentina. He'll be 103 years old, and they'll grab him and bring him back to Israel. And that's why they're respected. And white people don't forget, that's why they're respected. And that's why we'll continue, as Malcolm X says, to be everybody's chump until we stand up and get tough. And so we're tough. We got Carolyn Bryant by the toe, and we won't let her go.
That's
Where
right.
there can be no justice, there will be no peace. I can guarantee you this. Forget the court system, full respect. Judicial system, full respect. But God says, where there's no justice, there will be no peace. And I guarantee you, she will not live in peace for any of the days of the rest of her life. She will not live in peace as long as she's anywhere near the Black community. That will not happen.
Yeah, I just look at this boy's face. You know, I just, yeah, you got to keep going.
Well, yeah, yeah. Did you show the map? Well, let's go back to that because we want to understand something about that. Let's go back to the massacre, to the mutilation on brother Emmett's face. That's his beautiful mama Mamie, who waged a mighty struggle on his behalf afterwards. And there's the movie Till coming, so all young people can learn. But I mean, and the family is saying that Carolyn Bryant was right there with Roy Bryant and J.W. Miller, the two murderers that got off. And when they went and identified Emmett and had him dragged out and taken down to the Tallahatchie River. Others say she's at the Tallahatchie River. So manslaughter she should be up on. Murder charges she should be up on. And Emmett Till is the most famous martyr of the civil rights movement. And all of y'all need to know today, all of y'all who you're appalled when you see George Floyd. You're appalled when you see what's happening today to black people at the hands of some white racists and white supremacists. But let me let you know that the same struggles of today, black people, was the same struggles of yesterday. And Emmett Till was the George Floyd of yesterday. And
Absolutely.
So you must learn your history, and we will be getting a thorough history lesson, as well as a lesson from struggle, So I think some of the things you hear, as there are other things too. There's I am, as the attorney, I am appealing the United States Department of Justice decision to not further investigate Carolyn Bryant Donham. I am formally appealing that, and that family will be in Washington on October 30th with me as we see the Justice Department and as we deal with Congress on this matter. I am going to be formally, legally making appeals to Dwayne Richardson in LaFleur County, giving him every reason to convene that grand jury. I am considering other legal actions against that sheriff's department who appears to have violated at least Emmett Till's right, or his family's right, certainly Emmett Till's rights to have his death properly adjudicated. And so, but right now I'm deep in the legal laboratory working to put this case as to put the legal pressure on the Justice Department and the authorities in Mississippi so that they cannot escape. Sometimes these families have had meetings with the Justice Department and others without the benefit of lawyers, and the Justice Department basically could tell them anything. And those days are over. Emmett Till stays on our mind and consciousness for divine reason. It's beyond me and you. And therefore, I'm happy to be on the case.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
I can take about 10 minutes more, then I got to run.
Okay. And you know what, guys? Listen, he said it. He's, you know, that he's on the case. Let me, okay. I had right here. Okay. Listen. This, what, you know, when people are doing stuff, everything costs money. So if you believe in what Brother Shabazz is doing and has laid out so beautifully, you know, it's not that he says, you know, he's a beautiful orator, but he's doing more than just talking. He's actually doing the work. He is going to these places. He's getting plane tickets to go to these places, to stay, to organize, and those things cost money. So please hit this man's cash app up, please. I'm gonna keep it up there.
Well, I would say that, and I would want to be clear, that wouldn't be for my legal efforts, but that would be for what we call the Black Power movement against racism, police brutality, and white supremacy.
There it is.
There's so many incidents breaking out around the country that that movement has to dispatch soldiers and activists around the country to meet the fight. And so that's for that Black Power movement. Not necessarily my law practice, but I do support that. Yeah, put that money into the Black Power movement.
Yes, right here.
because without the movement, the lawyers are limited. Okay, the lawyers are limited without the movement. Ben Crump will tell you that a lot of what he does, he has benefited from the Black Rights Matter movement and the movement in the streets. So nothing really moves without the movement.
Yeah, and family. I've had lots of conversations with Professor James Small about this, and he talks about when you're out here, you're doing this work. It is just like what Brother Shabazz is saying. You don't ever know when you're going to need the help of his team and these organizations. And if one person is being impacted, we're all being impacted. Mm-hmm. It's not okay until nobody is impacted. Then we're good. But right now, we are all impacted by police brutality, by racism, every single one of us. Because we got a nice house sitting someplace doesn't mean that we're not impacted by this. So it's very important that we, put our money, towards this movement and organization so that we can all get freed. So the next case, the Sesame Street Girls. Are you working on that, or what are your thoughts on it?
No, I'm not on that case. I don't. Mm-hmm. And I'm not disrespecting it. I don't want to be seen as an ambulance chaser. Every time an injury or something happens or the cause happens, I have to be on it. I would say this about Sesame Street. I would say that I would give credit to the National Youth Minister of the New Black Panther Party, Brother Elijah, and one of the mothers of the party, Sister Crystal Imamu, and Sister Asada and others, because they went up there and participated in the demonstrations over the weekend, and they tried to shut Sesame Place down, and they certainly had an impact. I want to thank the young brother G. Hove. He's up there in New Jersey and others. I'm mainly, it's an important issue. Parents should be able to take Black children to places and not have them mistreated. Okay, parents should be able to take Black children places and not have them mistreated. And so therefore I'm in favor of Sesame Place and any corporation, particularly white corporations, but any corporation being held accountable when they are taking our dollars. And that's a principle I've relied on over the years. So in this case, I let the youth and the young people handle it. But I will say as a matter of principle that strikes, sanctions, boycotts, and other economic penalties certainly would bode us well. They would do us well in our fight for justice. I've always been for that. I don't think Black people are willing to shut entities down, stop shopping, buying, and use their economic power enough. If I have my way, more of that will happen in the future.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, shutitdown.com. You
shut
don't want
down. If we can, shut it down. I'm for it. If the people for it, I'm for it.
I'm for it too. So talk to us about what are the in terms of the legal ramifications of the manager in, I think it's in North Carolina, in Kinleytown, where everyone is resigning because the new manager of the town is a Black woman.
Yeah,
it used to be. Or used to be. No, yeah.
Yes. You speak of the case. I'm gonna pull the Queen's name in a minute. That's Sister Jones, who was appointed.
Yeah, Justine Jones.
Justine Jones. That's right. Miss Justine Jones was appointed as the town manager in a small town in Kinley, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And so all the police force who were white men quit. A small police force, and they all quit. And as I've said on my news broadcast on the internet, that it's just white men that don't want to be held accountable, that want to continue to do dirt and not have anybody looking over their shoulders, let alone a Black woman, that they don't want to submit to the leadership of a Black woman. And just America just is shameful. They just don't change. I'm thinking this is 1972 instead of 2022 when you hear something like that. And so bless Sister Justine Jones. You know, I don't know. What is your specific question on the legality? What is your specific question?
Yeah. So when everyone resigns in positions that can impact people's livelihood or safety, is that legal?
I mean, I don't think you can stop them from resigning. And from what I understand, the county police would make sure that everything in that small town is taken care of, that it would be covered by the
Okay.
county. I don't know of any clauses or anything in their contracts where they can't resign or leave.
Okay.
And I mean, they essentially trying to sabotage the system.
Yeah. Well, because I was just thinking about, like back in the day, if let's say you got injured and you went to a hospital and they're like, okay, I'm not going to work on this person because they're Black, and then something happened and you died, and it's the same. I mean, I don't know if it's the same, but I was just thinking in terms of, your safety is now being impacted because someone is racist.
If the fact pattern was that they remained on duty, that those officers remained on duty, and then they said, well, for example, I'm not going to provide security, or I'm not going to come to the aid of a Black person,
okay,
or I'm not going to provide security for the town manager, or actions like that. Then you get into some legal questions there. I don't think there's a legal answer to them just resigning. I think that's I don't think there's a legal penalty for them resigning.
Okay.
I think it's something that we or the brothers and sisters in South Carolina should come to her aid, and hopefully if those brothers and sisters, that they would maybe fill those slots with brothers and people that she can trust. If she's a town manager and the Black people presiding, then maybe she will have a Black police force that will try to be different than the white police force that resigned. That would be her option, and I'm sure she's capable of doing that. We just support her in general because we believe that Black people in these political positions, it was great sisters like Fannie Lou Hamer and others that fought for these rights, and we want this Black woman to be successful, and if they don't like it over there, they're gonna have to just chew on some straw and eat it, because we got to get in touch with her. I want to get in touch with her and tell her that I support her, and I do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I thought too. I was like, she should just bring in five top black folks to take over those positions. All right. So this is the last thing, Brother Shabazz. Because I heard you just kind of giving some commentary on the police chief in Dobbins, Chief Police Dobbins in Lexington, Mississippi. And he was talking, and he kept saying the N word, how he killed people, and this and that.
Sam Dobbins.
Yeah.
Many of you are outraged, and you have heard, and we don't want you to let it pass by lightly. You have heard the outrageous violence and wicked words of Sam Dobbins, who was the recently fired former police chief in Lexington, Mississippi. And this police chief, was just busted on tape last week. As it came out, he was just fired in only a 3-2 vote. Mind you, it was a 3-2 vote. And he is on tape. He says that I shot that nigga 119 times. That's at the end of this rampage that he went on, where he admitted that he had killed 13 people. That while on duty, he had killed 13 people. He admitted that he justifies his own killings by fixing the papers and fixing the books. he encourages an officer to go and kill in cold blood and says he's going to fix it because he's the only one that can fix it. He goes on to use the N-word many, many different times, including describing how he shot a nigga 119 times. And what he did in the course of that was admitting that he has been killing people and covering it up, that he has been running a racist department with how many murders under his belt, I don't know, how many excessive force beatings, false arrests, harassment of our people in Holmes County or Lexington, Mississippi. We can only imagine. But I'm here to tell you this, man. When I heard Dobbins make those admissions, it brought out the worst fears in me and that black people have in terms of the mindset of police. That this is what the police really think. This is what the police are really saying. This is what the police is really covering up. And this is how the police really are. If they only caught him on tape saying this one time, how much of this is really going on in the police departments all across America? Yeah. Now I'm outraged and you all are outraged, but I'm equipped a little bit different in the sense that I'm working in Mississippi already, and I refuse to hear that kind of information and not take action. So Sam Dobbins, he's in my target scope now, meaning I'm coming after him with all I got because I wasn't able to rest easy at night knowing that his department, that his killings, the 13 of his killings are probably dirty and they need to be investigated. They need to be uncovered. All the reports, the files, and the evidence need to be re-reviewed again because he has admitted that he lies and cooks the report. So he may be liable for murder in one of his so-called justified killings. His police department need to be investigated, which we have the power to do through Open Records Act and other Freedom of Information Act. We want to go through every arrest, every citizen's complaint, every excessive force allegation, every stop, and all of that, and be able to legally and lawfully either gain it through public information or subpoena by filing suit. I'm headed to Lexington, Mississippi on August the 29th, Tuesday. Once I come from the Emmett Till commemoration weekend, the 27th and the 28th, where I'll be with the family, and then we are going to meet or confront the governor of Mississippi on Monday the 28th, Tate Reeves. We're going to have a showdown with him too over Emmett Till and injustice in Mississippi in general. And Dwayne Richardson, we're going to see on the 28th when I'm in Mississippi. Then on the 29th, I'm going into the backwoods. And I'm going with Black Lawyers for Justice and the new Black Panther Party. And I'm going to meet those that I've already talked to, the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, who bear the name of Fannie Lou Hamer. They are setting it up for us. We're going to be in Lexington, Mississippi, and we're going to have a hearing or a tribunal on Chief Sam Dobbins. And it's going to be well advertised and put in the papers in advance. Every one of his victims we want to have come forward to meet us on August 29th. Every person that filed a complaint, we want to see you in person. Everybody that's been harassed by this department, we want to see you because you may have class action. You may have class action status. You may have an individual claim against this department, against this county, against him. We're hearing that it's not just Lexington, Mississippi, it's Holmes County. Look, we're not going to let this go. I'm going to go and find the dirt on this devil. This devil is dirty. And I'm telling you, all my cases don't have to have money attached to them. That's one difference between me and some of these other lawyers. Of course, of course, when we can collect, we want to collect. But all legal actions are not about collecting. these cases take work. There might be no collection on it. It don't matter. I'll collect when I see his behind in jail, and that's what I want to see. So I guarantee you, Sam Dobbins will not rest in peace. Let me not even go further. Okay, the new Black Panther Party has their own plans to deal with this, but I guarantee you, he will not be. After what he said, he will not be riding around that county like he's happy-go-lucky. He gonna see his face on a wanted poster in his own county. Everybody gonna know who this devil is, and he is gonna be on the defensive. I promise you that Dobbins will be on the defensive for the rest of his wicked life. That's what I say to you here on HAPI TV. Because I am pissed. And not only, you know how we get angry, then you get over it and you move on. No, I was angry. And then I got stable and thought about it. And now I'm like a controlled fury on his behind. And so we'll stay updated. But you keep me, I guarantee you, we're coming after him and his whole department. Mississippi has got all kind of issues. I think Kamal Kareem, Patrick Alexander, Kareem Muhammad, Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, Steve Harris, Sherelle Potts, Taylor May, Lorenzo Sims, all of those that are fighting for justice in Mississippi. Y'all know my family is from Mississippi, my roots in Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
I got to come back and do a part 2 with you. I like your spirit. I like everything about what you're doing here. Can I come back and do a part 2 with you later?
Let me tell you, you can do a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, because you had me at being on that campus when you were there, and the courage that it took for you to listen to God and move. I know everyone else was around and they was telling you got it, but you listened to God. And sometimes we hear God a lot, right? All of us, everybody in the chat, everybody hears God. And sometimes we don't always have the courage to do what God is asking us. And if had you not, none of these, like everything would have just imploded. So I just thank you. I thank you.
Sometimes God chooses us to take the fire so that others will be inspired. You know what I mean? Like they asked me, just even going after Carolyn Bryant right now, they saying, well, you shouldn't do this, or you're an attorney. Well, don't do this or don't do that. I know some of my actions are bold and many of them could be considered radical. But if I'm successful in taking my position, that should encourage others behind me. I don't mind serving as a lightning rod or taking fire. If I come out here and take fire, maybe that'll distract the enemy so others can get past and go on through. So I don't mind taking the fire. I don't mind taking the heat. I don't mind serve as a lightning rod if a bunch of other brothers and sisters can get up and move in on the enemy while he's looking. Y'all move on in, and if he want to make me the bad guy, it's okay. I can take it, all right? I love you, Black woman. I honor you. I would look, by the time we come back, I'll have more battlefield reports for you.
Yes.
And thank you, because it's rare that I get Black press and media that give me a fair voice and for people just to get to know me better. And I thank you, because I want people to know and understand me better. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And family, listen, he got this fire. He put this fire in this book. Please. Right here, I'm going to get my copy. So by the time you come back next, I would have read the book, because I'm just like, I want to read more about, because I know you got fire coming from a lot of places, but a lot of it is from this brother right here. So I definitely want to get this book. So
okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bless you. We'll talk later. Love you.
All right. Peace. Okay, family. Okay. Listen, I have more announcements. I have HAPI announcements, so y'all don't go nowhere. Yeah, brother Shabazz is no joke. We're gonna definitely have him, back on. He had a lot of things he was like juggling around for us, so we thank him for being able to, to get with us. Okay, all right here, guys. First of all, I want to thank Ronnie I saw Ronnie gave a cash app. Thank you, Ronnie, because doing what we're doing is not always right here. Thank you, Ronnie. Ronnie Dorito, thank you. Your cash apps, when you guys give us cash apps, it goes directly into us funding other Black folks to help us do stuff for, to get these shows up. We just came back from a huge conference. Well, actually, we physically just came back from Kemet. We were there at the end of May into the first week of June. Okay, we brought 85 people with us. We are going back, okay? And let me just get that little information right there. We are going back to Kemet right there, September 9th through the 17th. We're gonna have Infudushi Jehutimis will be our master guide. He is coming with us. He came with us along with Dr. Leonard Jeffries and Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, Asar Imhotep. They were all with us this last time. And so, and Infudushi was just saying this, and that. I mean, he was saying so many things. So we were like, oh my God, like in the middle of this tour, he was like, okay, we're gonna have to, when I come back, I'm gonna teach them some classes and we're gonna learn this Madu Netra. So we're gonna go back. And so we are going back September 9th. It is going, I'm telling you right now, the ICAT Tours has been around for 24 years. The owner, CEO, Taki Grant, has been bringing Black folks to Kemet for the last 23 years. Okay, so I think he might know what he's doing. And so we are going to be back September 9th through the 17th. It's going to be fabulous. Hopefully you can make it. Just go to icattours.com and find, sign up for put in your registration form, and we will handle the rest. It is going to be a very fabulous trip. Going back to One Africa. If you want to get the One Africa DVD, excuse me, not the DVD, it's only live streamed, or you can rent it or digitally download it. And let me get that up for you. So we were going to be, we were doing this conference at the end of February. We were going to do the Power and Unity. It was called the Power of Returning to the Source Conference. That's what it was, Returning to the Source Conference. One Africa, Returning to the Source. And then there was a lot of pushback there was like some people like attacked us on the internet, and if you go to our Facebook page, you can still see it. We kept it up there so that people will be reminded about how much people don't want us just to talk about our history, right? And so at that point, we told everybody it was canceling, but really we rescheduled it, and we changed the name, and we made it the One Africa Power and Unity Conference in Detroit. And the reason why we had to change the name is because we thought that, with this Return to the Source, we were going to have one conversation. But then with everything happening and how people really try to shut us down, okay, like this shutting down, like how Dr. Shabazz talked about them trying to shut down these young people in 1998 at the Million Youth March. Okay, people really tried to shut us down. We were like, okay, we're going to just do this over here. And we understood the power of unity. And this is where the name title comes from, because we couldn't do it by ourselves. And it's important for us, like Brother Shabazz was talking about, this working with each other. And sometimes there's people who don't, that look just like us, which is really sad. They look just like us and they're saying, oh, Black power, liberation, blah, blah, blah. But yet they're doing things to directly stop us, which wasn't cool, which happened to us, right? So we were like, no, F this. It's going to be Power and Unity Conference. And so that's what we did. We continuously had great opposition with putting this conference on, but damn that we did it. It was beautiful. It was a good day, a blessed day, a beautiful day for Black people. April 30th and May 1st. And that right there, we now have it available so that you can see it too. You can see why everybody wants to stop us, because, you know, we were, you know, it was being live streamed to thousands of people, and we had about 250 people that was right in the space with us in Detroit. But we were concerned that, you know, that after this, that, you know, if you look at it, would you still get the energy from it? And absolutely yes. It is 12 hours. It is the whole entire conference available now for live stream, and it's only $20. It's only $20. Okay. So you just go to hapifilm.com. It's $20, and you sit down with your family, because this is the other piece. It's good for us to know this information, and people who are on the chat and, you know, who sign up to us, like, it's good that we know this information. That's why we got to share it with other people. Okay. We got to share this information. And so I'm going to go over the names one more time, and then I'm going to move on to something else. But these individuals right here was like, I am going to be committed. These 13 scholars rose to the occasion. It was emceed by the National Business League president, Dr. Ken Harris. There's only been 4 presidents since the organization was founded, in 1922, and there's only been 4 presidents, and he's one. And he's a young president, right? And so he emceed it. He's from Detroit, homegrown. And so he did an excellent, phenomenal job. He also had a presentation within those 2 days, which was dynamite. And so it was, Dr. Ken Harris. Then next was Professor James Small. Well, actually, Mfudishi Juhutimus opened up the whole conference. And anybody who knows Mfudishi Juhutimus knows how he gets down. He is a burst of energy. Thank you, Sharon, for having your copy. That's what's up. Yep. Sharon Anderson has been ride or dying with HAPI. That's what's up. So we had Mfudishi Juhutimus opened it up. We had Baina Bello, Asar Imhotep, Kabane, Professor James Small, Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Sister Shahrazad Ali, Dr. Georgina Falou. And let me tell you about Dr. Georgina Falou. She's in many of these scholars that were there were also in the film HAPI. If you guys don't know, we have a documentary. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes, HAPI, the role of economics in the development of civilization. And that's the thing right here. You just go to hapifilm.com, you can get all this stuff, okay? And everything's on streaming now, which is great. But Dr. Georgina Falou, she was right there. She gave out her cell phone number to everyone that was live streaming and everyone there, because she was helping people set up corporations. And she wasn't just talking about it. She had paperwork. She had groups of people signing up and getting, and she was helping them structure their paperwork for different businesses for free. Okay. And we had to actually tear her apart from the group just so she can come on, because she was part of it. We had this dynamic panel discussion. All this is, on the $20 version, right? $20. Okay. We had to pull her away, okay, just so she can sit on this panel. And then she went right back, and she was literally, writing people's stuff and getting, getting people's businesses together. She was not playing. She was literally doing the work right there at the conference. She was there. Then we had Brother Rizza Islam. He was the youngest presenter. If y'all don't know about Rizza Islam, I don't know what's going on, because he is dope. Dope.com. He was there. And then, he wasn't there. He was on, he was actually keynoting at another event down in Georgia. So he came and he live streamed, which was great. Then we had Dr. Susan Tata. Oh my God. Everybody was in tears. Grown men had tears in their eyes. Her presentation was magnificent. Then we had Dr. Alicia Watkins. and Jabari Ozazi. So this $20, okay, because it's only, yes, Black Fist. You know, let me get some of these up. I love the Black Fist. Absolutely. 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 This event, you know, some people call it a revolutionary act, you buying this $20 video, because no one wanted us to sit and do exactly what we were doing. When you walked into the DoubleTree Hotel in Detroit, downtown Detroit, all you did was smell sage and black love. It was, that second floor was on fire. The elders were walking around. People were just sitting. They were just grouping up, talking. The vendors were out of sight. Oh my God, we got some beautiful things from the vendors, but the vendors were part of us. We were part of them. Like, it was just a magnificent time. So at the very least, you know, if you were not able to see the live stream that day, or to be in Detroit, please support us and get the and get the live stream now. Yeah, absolutely. It's worth, because you can keep on watching it. And everyone stepped up there. They, you know, I liken them to the Jamaican 4x100 girls relay. It's like those scholars was passing that baton, and each one took it further and faster. And so it was just a beautiful event. Make sure you guys support and go to hapifilm.com and pick up the One Africa. Now, the other piece, which you can do on on hapifilm.com, is that you have to sign up for the newsletter. So a lot of times we are, you know, we're doing stuff and we're saying, hey guys, we have this event coming up, or, you know, we got this, you know, we got all types of stuff, you know, cooking. It's going to be very important for you guys to get in now with this newsletter, because in 1 or 2 months, we're going to be doing something a little different with the newsletter. And so if you're not signed up, it's going to be real. You're not going to be able to get all the good discounts and other stuff we got coming. So it's very important that you just sign up for the newsletter. You just go to hapifilm.com, hit the stay connected, put in your information, and then we can get you signed up. Next week, actually later on this week, we have Kaba Kamene. Kaba Kamene is coming back. Now, you know, we love some Kaba. And Kaba was also at the event, at the One Africa event. And he was live streaming as well, because he was doing something. I think he was doing something in Brazil or something. Listen, these scholars be getting it in. So, but yeah, we're going to have, Kaba's going to be back this Sunday. And he's going to be giving a really, his is going to be good. This is Happy Talks with Professor Kaba Hiawatha Kamene about the rift between Pan-Africanism and foundational Black Americanism. The rift between Pan-Africanism and foundational Black Americanism. Yeah, FBA against the Pan-Africanism. So we can't wait to hear this conversation with Kaba. He's a good person to start this conversation off. Yes, Brother Kaba. Yes. All right. Thank you guys for all the Cash App love. That goes a long way. Yes, Hazina. Brother Malik Shabazz will be back, but you can, and make sure everyone is liking and sharing this video. You can go to our YouTube page and actually, watch all the old videos. We have over, I think we're almost at 100 now, videos that we have up there, which brings me to my last thing right here, guys. You have to make sure, we are so close to 25,000 viewers, so close. And we know you guys watch our videos and don't like them or not subscribe. Come on. This is exactly what Brother Shabazz was talking about, this crab in the barrel mentality. Look, we are all going to the same place. We can get there faster if we literally work together. Okay. And this is for real. Like we, even putting on the One Africa conference, we worked with other Black organizations. We had New Era. They came and they were part of their leader, Zeke. He's been he, you can just, Google him and see all the wonderful things he's doing. He's going to be coming to Happy Talks later on in the next couple of weeks. But how he's been able to organize these new era organizations in different cities. And so these people, they ain't even doing no talking. They just straight up putting up, okay, we need lunches here. Let's go. We got a team doing this. These kids need this. Let's go. We're doing policing. Like, they're doing so many things, but we were working with them because we understand that neither one of us can exist without the other. Right. So thank you, Gina. Gina is getting in. Gina didn't even know nothing about us. And Gina's been all up in this little conversation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Burnett. Yes. And so we are so close to 25,000 viewers, because the more viewers we get, we start hitting different algorithms, and then more people get the information, because it's about watching, not only, being part of this HAPI movement isn't just signing on to HAPI Talks every week when we have dynamic speakers come in and talk to us, but it's also about doing the work, right? They come, they talk about some stuff, Brother Shabazz talked about some stuff. Now we got to do stuff. We got to meet him down at the courthouse. Or if we can't meet him, we got to, donate to the Cash App. And if we can't donate to the Cash App, maybe we can, tell 12 other people that do live down there to get down there. But we've got to, we have to really support each other in a real way so that we can keep going, because our liberation is right. It's just right there. We are the ones that we are waiting on. And Fudishi Juhuti says that all the time, which there's a woman who actually coined that phrase. I do not know her name, but I will have her name next time we talk. But we are the ones that we are waiting on. So right here, if you guys are, like some of you guys, we come up on your feed and you're like, oh, I'm subscribed, but you got to actually check. Okay. So when you go to YouTube, you got to make sure you hit that notifications button, because every time we go live, that means that you guys should be, and if you don't get a notice that we're going live, that means you are not subscribed. And we need for you guys to subscribe to us, in a real way, so that we can hit this mark and keep going. We have a lot of good things in store for you guys. And it takes all of us working together. Like, that's the only way this is going to happen. All right. So, and I appreciate you too. Yay. Yes, I appreciate you. You guys appreciate Taki and I, but we so appreciate you guys more. I tell you. All right. So again, we have Professor Kaba Kameni. Well, I don't know why I can't say this brother's name today, but we have Kaba's coming, and he's going to talk about the rift between Pan-Africanism and the foundational Black Americanism. All right. So, that will be on Sunday at 9 p.m. Or I think it's going to be a little bit after 9. Kaba has so many things. He has so many things going on. So we're just so happy to get these scholars like, come on into the Happy Talks. But right there. So I want to thank you again, family. It's been an enlightening interview with Brother Malik Shabazz. And if you didn't, good job. Good job. You're locked in. Yes. If you didn't have a chance to see his interview because he was in between doing some stuff, you can, just go into our YouTube page, put in hapifilm, and you can see it. Right there, yes, we are going back to Kemet on September 9th through the 17th. And yes, Mabel, she wants to get married in Kemet. Okay, girl. All right, you have to put it out there. You got to put it out there. And please, if you are able to, and we take anything. Like, people send us $1 all the time, but imagine if like 100 people sent $1. Okay, so we ain't picky about what you guys send us. Everything goes back to making, to putting this show on, to the graph. Everything we do is relying on other Black folks. So we definitely rely on you to hit the Cash App. Right there is $hapifilm. Make sure that you go to hapifilm.com and get your One Africa streaming, and also make sure that you sign up for the newsletter. You got to be signed up for the newsletter. All right. And then when you get the newsletter, you got to open it. Okay. Sometimes you guys get the newsletter, don't open it. And we can see who's opening it. So we're just saying, you know, just support in a real way. All right, family. I think that's it. If you guys don't have any questions of us, I am going to sign out. And I want to thank you, Silos. Yeah, Silos is another one that was very, very vocal today. Thank you. We appreciate this. This is interactive over at HAPI World. It's interactive. Yes. Nubian was there. Yes. It's not up to go. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just reading some of the questions that you guys are saying. Okay. Yep, I think we're good. Okay, fam. And I just like this one. Thank you, Silos. All right. Okay, family. So in the words, I don't have my buddy, Professor James Small, to to say this, because usually he says it. I always take it from him. But peace and blessings. And I hope the rest of your week is wonderful and beautiful. And remember, you are here to serve a purpose. Let's get on with the purpose. Let's get closer to our ancestors and God, and we will be on purpose. All right. Peace, family.
I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority. Honestly,
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?